The Magicians, the age of treason, his love is treason.
I am lost in the sea of time. I am merely a memory of seas gone by. I am lost in time's wake. Long forgotten is my world and time. I am just a shadow of a shell, my old home, crying not for my loss. I am beauty in death, all in clutch. Death has no worry for the dead. My world is dead, and my time is too. I with the fishes of my seas swim in my era now. I am just a neat relic of past life on ancient earth. My bones have melted away and become part of my stone shadow, a fossil. My world is dead, and my time is too. I with the fishes of my seas swim in my era now. I am just a neat relic of past life on ancient earth. My bones have melted away and become part of my stone shadow, a fossil.
Sang the Emperor of the Universe on a stage somewhere in Melbourne City. He was singing of a fossil ammonite, but he himself was lost in time.
He was a time traveler living in the past, like the fossil in the song. So far back he was 1200 or so, he obviously wasn't human. He was of a near-immortal alien race called the Magicians, who could only die if hurt, but he was different. He had died many times only to return to life again. Unlike the rest of his race who died forever, he couldn't stay dead. His grim Reaper soul healed him and returned him to life. He was not the only Reaper, but he was the only one who died to return to life again. Likewise, he was the only magician to have the trait of returning to life, which was seen as living dead. He'd been deposed before when he was found out last time in another life as another man. His grandson. A complication of time travel, he became his own grandfather. Another was he was still married to his grandson's wife. It had been until now a good marriage, and they were happily married. This song marked the end of the happy marriage. This performance was the aggregate, the grit that formed the pearl of love that cleaved apart the happy couple of Fred the Emperor and his secret wife Angela, or Princess Anastasi, commonly called Anna. In the audience he spied her, the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. He was lost. She noticed. She liked him too. She knew that he was a famous man. She saw him at his work at the stage door at the theatre. He was a noted stage magician who worked there. He forgot his wife and took her to lunch for a month. To the world he was merely a widower who had lost his wife. She was very enchanted by this enchanter, and she wanted to be his wife one day. He thought of her alone. His living wife found him distracted, until one day...
Fred,
Blake, what is it?
I only wanted to know how you were. Don't bite off my head.
said the younger man.
I'm sorry for my rudeness.
Fred apologized and walked off to see the lady. Blake followed him. Fred seemed oblivious to him. All he could see was his love.
Who is she, Gramps?
You still here, Blake?
Yes.
Tourmaline Green.
Fred virtually sang. He knew Fred was in love with her. It did not make Blake happy, his older self forgetting their wife, who they both had worshipped. Blake dragged Fred away from Tourmaline, who looked sad to see him go. Fred was livid.
What do you think you are doing?
Said Fred furiously. Blake glared at Fred.
I am being a friend.
That is not the act of a friend.
That is not the act of a loving husband. And father, remember Anna is pregnant with your child.
You always wanted to be her husband. You can have her.
Blake looked at Fred, knowing he was a traitor and a madman.
Is that what you think of her? A party favor you can pass on to another man? You do not deserve her.
You stupid brat. I am not passing her to a stranger. You are her husband.
So are you.
Why are you arguing?
Said Anna, walking into the room.
You know you are a talking point out there. Everyone can hear you.
Fred is giving you to me.
Giving me to you.
Said Anna, shocked.
He's found a gold digger to replace you.
How dare you? Tourmaline is not a gold digger.
Fred, how could you?
Anna said, crying.
I hope you are truly happy with Anna. I'd ask for a divorce, but Anna and I are not married.
He's truly the Lizard of Oz.
You know, you're calling yourself that.
I mean it.
Fred sighed, knowing he was getting nowhere arguing with them, so he left to be with Tourmaline. Fred danced with Tourmaline all night, full of the passion that love brings. He ignored a man who sat watching him curiously, pondering how to deal with him. It was not Blake in any form. It was a killer who knew Fred well enough to know his secret that he could not die and remain so. He also knew the girl was merely a gold digger. The killer knew only he could fix things and only death could solve this, and it could cause a rift between him and Fred the size of the universe. The killer did not look forward to what he had to do. Fred took Tourmaline to her home and went inside for a coffee.
He sat waiting for her to get the coffee. As he sat on her couch, he heard her scream, and he ran into the kitchen. He saw his son, the serial killer, the necromancer, had just murdered her. Why did you have to do that, you psycho? Demanded the shocked, crying, heartbroken emperor.
I had to do it, said the son.
No, you didn't. We can bring her back to life, said the emperor, who was a necromancer also.
No, Dad, she's dead, said the son.
That doesn't matter. I brought back my dad from the dead, said Fred.
The killer walked up to his dad and hugged him. Granddad is a zombie, said the killer.
Fred's father wasn't a brain-eating zombie. He was a living dead meat puppet of a necromancer, not that he looked it. If you won't save her, I will, said the miserable, grieving, angry emperor.
No, Dad, said the killer, holding Fred back.
It's all right, Tourmaline. I saved you. We can still be together, said the Reaper, hugging her.
She returned to seeing the Reaper and her lover dead in the arms of her killer.
Fred's soul, a Reaper, left his body, walked to her, reached towards her, and spoke a dark incantation.
Don't, Dad, said the killer.
The girl screamed and tore away from him.
I won't hurt you, said the Reaper.
You're scaring her, said the killer.
I'm Fred, don't be scared, said the desperate Reaper.
Oh my God! No, Fred's dead. I don't want to live without Fred, said Tourmaline, stabbing herself, killing herself.
Oh, so she wasn't a gold digger, my bad, said the killer.
You, said the angry Reaper.
Take her soul, you're a Reaper, said the killer. I'll look after your body.
You are too, said the Reaper soul of Fred.
You can take her in, you can be with her till you hand her over, said the killer.
Thank you, boy, said the Reaper soul of Fred.
Fred's body was taken away by the killer for safekeeping, to return to life later, while the Reaper took his love's soul to the afterlife.
I am lost in the sea of time. I am lost in time's wake. Long forgotten is my work and time. I am just a shadow of a shell, my old home. Cry not for my loss. I am beauty in death's ardent clutch. Death has no worry for the dead. My world is dead, and my time is too. I with the fishes of my sea swam in my error. Now I am just a neat relic of past life on ancient earth. My bones have melted away and become part of my stone shadow, a fossil. Fishes of my seas swam in my error. Now I am just a neat relic of past life on